friends, family, lovers alike, as we continue to ride this wave of light here together. This is day number 18. And as we continue the water elements and releasing the shadow as it's being brought to the lights, here we have the chance to pinpoint the inner barriers, obstacles, misbeliefs, the fears, the doubts that have been holding us back as we are moving forward beyond our comfort levels towards our dreams, towards our visions more and more to live the life we want to live. We may notice not just one but many different components of our fears, doubts, and limitations. So we have the chance to really become clear what's arising for us, what's coming up, and to clearly write out what each of those fears, those limiting beliefs are for you. Because typically they become so intermingled that we're just like stuck in fear, stuck in our ability to move forward, in part because there's so many intertwined with one another. But to be clear, firstly, what they are allows us to recognize, wow, what is it we're actually facing and having to move through with greater clarity. So we may have many different limitations coming up for us: fears, doubts, blockages, misbeliefs, old patterns. And then amongst these, we're typically going to have a core wound, a core fear or misbelief, which has been carried throughout our life, often stemming back to our childhood and an experience that may have been extremely traumatic. It may have came even before this lifetime in a past life. It may have came while into your mother's womb before being born here into this planet. So at some point it may have been created, may have been seeded or recreated, and then what we end up doing is essentially recreating that same experience to show us and to justify that core wound as it's being brought to the lights over and over again. And so because we haven't necessarily been supported to work through those things at a deep level, we are typically building on top of that core wound and ending up then with many limiting thought beliefs, fears, and doubts. But they all sort of stem back towards this one core wound, this one subject that has been replaying itself over and over in our life. And commonly, we may share this with others, but we may have different wounds from one another as well that are sort of linked towards, of course, our ability to love ourselves and recognize our self-worth and to be freely able to express ourselves in the world. And so we want to come clear on this core wound because it is in fact a door, a portal, a gateway to enter through, not just once, but likely many times throughout your life. So we will have a chance to work through this wound by going into it, further releasing it, by taking tangible steps in our life and seeing, I am free to express myself, I am safe. So then we're able to take steps forward, and typically we continue to expand outwards and then come back to revisit this core wound that is, again, this door, this portal that we pass through time and time again to reach to this point more and more of our fulfillment, our embodiment, and really just our freedom of expression of who we truly are. So you may also recognize that going through this core wound, this portal, is the ultimate embodiment for yourself. And so you could become clear, what is on the other side of this door if I'm able and willing to fully go through it and free myself to express all that I am, to recognize internally from the inside out who I truly am. So may we recognize the core wound that we're carrying, see it as a gift, as a portal, as a door, and continue in our ability to gracefully move through this great door to the other side.